Lewis Hart for The Ring magazine. Always good to be joined with former IBF super featherweight world champion Joe Cordina here in London. Joe, good to see you. How's things? Good to see your face here.
Good to see you too, mate. Yeah, it's all good. I just come up to show support, and I got a little chat with Eddie. Obviously, he's a wanted man at me. He's doing a load of interviews, same as what I'm doing. So
yeah. I say busy man, but obviously here for Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen. I'm just wanted to get your thoughts on that big heavyweight domestic rematch.
Yeah, of course. If it's anything to go by like the first one, if it's going to be like the first one, everyone's in for the treat. And for me, I think it's going to be a little bit better than the first one.
Yeah.
I think Dave Allen's going to come out straight away and put it on him straight away, because he sort of took a few rounds to sort of warm into the last one. But yeah, it's going to be a great fight from the start, from the get-go, I think.
Yeah, wanted to actually ask you about obviously former stablemates on the card as well, George Lillard and Jimmy Saints. I'm sure when you was in the gym, they were sort of just early pros. Now they are fighting for titles. So I guess from an outside point of view, has it been exciting to see their development?
Yeah, I love seeing their development. And obviously, I keep a track on them all the time. And yeah, Jimmy's a great fighter, and I've seen him develop. And same with George, both great kids, and I believe they can go on and win British titles, and then after they win British titles, then because sometimes British title fights are sometimes harder than world title fights, believe it or not. Like for instance, one of my hardest fights was Gavin Gwynn.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
So
tough fight.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. Yeah, but it's early on in my career, but you develop and whatever else. But yeah, he'll once they have them fights, then they can go on and do anything.
Yeah, definitely. I did want to focus attention onto yourself. It's coming up to almost being a year out of the ring, which albeit I'm sure it's been a frustrating time for you. Yeah, I guess how have you dealt with this year since the Cacace fight, and I guess the frustrations that have come with that?
Yeah, look, obviously it is frustrating for obviously to see him on the run. Yeah, hats off to him. I applaud him because he's a good fighter. But to see that he's where I should be because of them two shots on a break, incompetence from the referee, and no one ever made a fuss about it. But it was them two shots on a break that was a defining factor of that fight. Because the first two rounds was, in my head, was pretty comfortable, and I've watched them two. I've watched the fight back, and them first two rounds was comfortable for me, and I believe I would have went on and beat him quite comfortably. But it didn't happen that way, and I've gotta just crack on, make sure I'm in the gym, and make sure I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure when the phone rings I'm ready. Obviously I got a little chat with Eddie a little bit later on after he's finished doing what he's doing, and then hopefully he's got something for me. If he has, then great. Then I'm ready to go. Just give me 8 weeks so I can spar, get my sparring in, and then ready to go.
That was what you mentioned there. And when you do see the run that Cacace's been on, obviously just literally previously stopping Lee Wood last week, and then obviously had the Warrington fight too, with a factor of yourself obviously not fighting and having the deal with the Shakur Stevenson fallout, when you haven't had time to not put that wrong but put that behind you, does it eat away at you knowing that what happened in that fight, knowing that you haven't been able to put it away, and he's been on that run?
Yeah, of course. And listen, he's got a family to feed, so I don't envy him in any way. Hats off to him, but I give him the opportunity, so I'd just like for him to, he came in the change rooms after and he said we'll run it back.
Yeah.
So, and I said I can't do super feather, and I said lightweight, and he was no problem. So if I'd like for him to stick to his word and give me the opportunity, like I gave him the opportunity, so it does eat away at me. Obviously I had the fight with Shakur lined up twice. It was sort of pulled back. So yeah, that was quite difficult for me because obviously I spend a lot of money in camps. I live in away Airbnbs, and they're not cheap up in Essex. They're like $1,000 a week, and I've done about 40k. So for me, living away from home, sacrificing everything. I lived away for the last 9 years of my pro career, 8 years of my amateur career. So I've sacrificed a lot. So for me to do all that and then to have 2 fights cancelled on me, been ready since August last year, and been promised dates here, there and everywhere, and then still no fight. So yeah, it's quite disappointing.
I know you're obviously going to campaign at lightweight now, and we spoke previously about the Shakur Stevenson fight. Would you ever, I know he's fighting Williams Apeda July 12th, but do you ever have confidence that fight could get remade again, from your point of view?
Yeah, well, after the fight got cancelled the first time, he inboxed me and said, listen, obviously sorry about I have to pull out, I fucked up my hand, he basically said. But he said we'll definitely fight down the line. So fingers crossed we get that fight, because that's someone I want to fight. When I was at Super Feather and he was at Super Feather, he called me out after I won a world title, and I said no problem, let me have my break, and then we'll go again. But then he had a fight lined up, so no problem. Then I had a fight lined up, and then he didn't make the weight, and then he moved up to lightweight. So obviously our fight was scheduled then at lightweight, and it fell through. So I'll be honest, he said, I seen an interview where he said that he didn't reschedule it, or the fight fell through because, after that, and it didn't materialise after his injury, was because I wasn't a big enough name. But I'm a two-time world champion, and he fought someone that's relatively inexperienced in Floyd Schofield, and no one over this side of the pond knows him. So yeah, he might be big in America, but he haven't won fuck all, and so that was his excuse. But I just want to fight him. I want to test myself against the best, and he is one of the best. But I also want to take what he's got, which is a title.
Yeah. When you look at other lightweight champions as well, someone like Keyshawn Davis, do you think that'd be an interesting fight for yourself?
Any of the lightweight world champions, I'd love to test myself against. They're the top of the game, and I always say I want to be involved in a fights that Ricky Hatton, he was here today. Ricky Hatton's involved in win, lose or draw. Obviously the Costa Zoo, he was a big name. He was pound for pound. Then you had Mayweather, then Pacquiao. Win, lose or draw, he's remembered for them big fights. Yeah. Carl Zaghi, Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Kessler. Then you had Carl Froch, Kessler, Andre Ward, Amir Khan, Canelo, Danny Garcia. So they're the fights that people remember you of, whether it's win, lose or draw. And I want to be involved in a fights like that. And them four champions at lightweight, all of them are big names. You've got Keyshawn Davis, you've got Tank Davis, then you've got Shakur Stevenson, you've got Lomachenko. If they offered me that, say in 10 weeks, offer me now for 10 weeks time, no problem. See you there. Where is it? Yeah. So that's all I want to be involved in. I've achieved everything there is to achieve in a sport, and unless it's Cacace, I want to get myself back to one of them big fights and potentially a world title.
Yeah. Well, so when it comes to a lightweight champion as well, with yourself not having a belt, do you feel like you pose too much of a risk for champions?
Of course. Yeah. But at the same time, like you get, like for instance, Shakur. Like everyone I speak to, yeah, he's an unbelievable fighter, and like I said, technically he's one of the best fighters on the planet, if not the best, technically. But everyone I speak to don't like watching him. But if he was to come over here, the amount of fans he'd gain, win, lose or draw, that he would gain would be immense. Like say for instance, like I'd go over there, that's not a problem. So I'd go anywhere to fight, it don't matter, it could be in a phone box. But if he came over here, say we done outdoor stadium in Cardiff Arms Park or Cardiff Castle or Cardiff City Stadium with the right undercard. Now, we could do that. Yeah. He'd gain so many, much more following, fans, boxing fans, and I just need to be in one of them big fights.
Yeah. I know you said about only Cacace would only probably be the other outside of the world champions. I know there was floating around a potential Sam Noakes fight, but for yourself, that wouldn't be something you can entertain now?
Nah, not really. Like I said, I've achieved everything it is to achieve, and I'm at the sort of the clinical part of my career where I need to make every fight count. Yeah. And unfortunately, and this ain't because Sam Noakes is a very good fighter and it's a fucking very hard fight, but God forbid I lost that fight, I don't go nowhere. Yeah. If I beat him, I still don't go nowhere because he haven't fought for a world title yet. He's won a Commonwealth British. I don't know if he won a Commonwealth, but he's won a British and a European. And he is highly ranked, but at the same time, it's not going to do anything for my profile or my career. And that's just me on a business.
Yeah, of course.
The business side of things. Like I said, I'm in the clinical side of my career, and I need to make sure that every fight counts.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, appreciate you taking time to speak to me. Always good to see you. And all the best. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you in the ring sometime soon.
Cheers,
Appreciate it. Thank you.